Good evening, everybody. Rob here at WesternPacificWeather.com. Very long day, kind of laid out in the update here, but currently it is 1930 Japan Standard Time. That's right around 10:30 Zulu Universal Time for everybody out there in the Western Hemisphere and most of the Eastern Hemisphere here. Currently watching several areas right now, the remnants of 12 Whiskey or Felipe out here over southern China and moving off to the west. Still many reports of flooding throughout that region, but moving farther out to just north of Saipan here, we also have 13 Whiskey is moving off to the north, or Malakas, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and a stationary front associated with the upper level low here over South Korea, extending out into the Sea of Japan and over Japan. Actually, let's first get into this stationary front here. It's actually bringing a widespread precipitation to some land areas here. Actually, first we're looking at the Korean radar right here, showing precipitation across the Korean Strait here, or the Tsushima Strait, or whichever side of this island you're on, and basically extending from Busan northward across South Korea, and also moving on to the showing widespread precipitation across much of Honshu, from Kyushu, Shikoku, extending up, and even some precipitation through out Hokkaido, all related to this quasi-stationary front extending across the region. Now, the reason why I show you this is that this is going to play a major role, so let's move back to the satellite picture, because this is going to play a major role with 13 Whiskey in its track. Now, satellite picture here. First, let's dive right into 13 Whiskey before we go back to this front here. Currently, winds right around 40, gusting up to 50 knots. You can see most convection is located in the southern periphery. Actually, there's some strong vertical wind shear due to a convergence aloft in the northern part here, basically associated with the Westpac High and subtropical ridge extending off from that. Overall, though, this is going to start to weaken as this trough moves in, allowing for more circulation and better organization out of the system, allowing it to intensify up to typhoon strength over the next 48 hours. Actually, here's the chart showing that strong vertical wind shear due to the subtropical ridge out here just to the north. Over top of the southern periphery, though, we have lots of divergence aloft. It's just very good for a formation, very good exhaust, so that's one thing to note. Now, let's go into the streamline analysis right now and show you what we're talking about with the subtropical ridge. So, streamline analysis from Sims here, actually showing the subtropical ridge extending out just north of the this area here. Now, what we were worried about was the same thing that was going to happen with 12 Whiskey. This ridge would build back in, but the difference is, and I know everybody's a little concerned about it, is that this ridge actually is going to start to weaken as this trough deepens in. It's a lot stronger than the previous trough about a week ago that we thought would pick up 12 Whiskey. Well, with 13 Whiskey here, it isn't going to end up getting picked up by this trough and end up skirting off to the northeast over the next 48 hours. So something just to note here, I know everybody's waiting on that turn to the northeast. Now we're just waiting on this trough to start to moving across the Sea of Japan here over just to west of Honshu. Actually, on this 500 millibar chart here, we can show you where this trough is currently located. And 500 millibar analysis is actually from a KMA here, showing that trough over to Sea Japan, expecting this to deepen and move off to the east here over the next 48 hours, weakening this ridge of high pressure right in here, which is actually just keeping the tropical storm Malakas just to the south of this area right in here. As soon as that happens, we'll start to see this shoot off to the northeast and actually get picked up by this trough right in here and absorbed into that stationary front that we've been talking about. Actually, let's go back to satellite picture here and I'll show you what I'm talking about with that. Now, 13 Whiskey is going to end up moving to the north, getting absorbed by this quasi-stationary front here, and along with the upper level trough here. Now, what Pedersen's rule indicates, it's a simple meteorology rule that any stationary front that gets some upper level support will develop into a further system, and that's actually what's going to be happening here. But that combined with this strong area of low pressure here, which is our tropical and a whole slew of moisture with that, it's actually going to create a pretty strong extratropical cyclone over the next 96 hours here up in the northern Pacific, actually looking at sea heights right around about 30 to 35 feet throughout this entire area, so very destructive for shipping. And now we're showing the official track from JTWC here. Looking like the system is going to move over IWO TO on the 23rd into the 24th right in here. Current winds out of that area right around 10 knots. Expecting a tropical storm to a weak typhoon strength in that area. Now the good news is not very many buildings on both of these islands right in here. So that's a very good news. Actually only about 5 buildings on IWO TO overall. And the rest of these islands I'm pretty sure are not inhabited very much. So that's the pretty good news. So overall the looks like just Kamchatka up in here looks like they're going to get some extratropical weather from this system. But outside of that, though, the east coast of Honshu is watching the system very closely. Actually, for all the military personnel, the entire region out here on the Kanto Plain has been set into Core 4, basically just a precautionary. Everybody just go over and double check all of your typhoon readiness in that entire area. But good news though is that basically Yokota up to Yokosuka, I'm going to CPA this storm right around 310 to 330 nautical miles. So it's a pretty good distance away. They are forecasting some of these outer rain bands to interact with that stationary front on the 24th into the 25th. Actually put scattered precipitation throughout the Tokyo area on those days. So just something to note. But the overall destructive winds are going to remain well out to sea. And back to the satellite picture here. That's all for today, everybody. If you have any questions, though, just shoot me an email. And thank you, everybody, for your input. And thank you for visiting westernpacificweather.com. And have a great night.